This pen is just fabulous. It's a felt pen. Hello, welcome to day 21 of State of Emergencies here in Lisbon. It's a Wednesday. It's another grey and drizzly day out there. Yesterday was actually pretty warm and it turned quite sunny towards the end of the afternoon, and when I went for my walk it was very pleasant. So I will be going for a walk later today, but it will just be a more wet and grayer experience. So as always, much activity out there on the work site. A lot of noise this morning, less so now, and unfortunately not that much progress in the roof tile situation. Just looking at the different blue crane out there moving in the distance. Oh, interesting. So yeah, I don't know how much I'll be able to walk out there today because of my pink suede shoes that I keep refusing to want to get soiled. So I'm already preparing to walk a lot in place. In fact, in the last few weeks, I've just become used to the fact that a lot of my walking will have to take place in this tiny apartment. So now every time I get up to do something, I try to move a lot, and every time I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, for example, I walk in place, or if I've got something in a microwave. I mean, I don't know, are you doing that? It seems to me that you don't really have a choice if you want to stay active, and if you don't get out there that much, you'd have to do things, weird stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing. This morning I once again searched the news for news of Boris Johnson, the British PM, and apparently he's still in intensive care, but not yet with a ventilator, which is good news, because once you're in a ventilator, you're unconscious. And as we all know, a lot of people don't actually make it out of the other side. A lot of people, not everyone, but yeah. So numbers for Portugal have come in, and we've broken through 13,000 and beyond. We're now at 13,141 confirmed cases. 380 people have died so far. There's a 699 increase from yesterday in confirmed cases. So that's like a lot of people, but apparently it's only about 5.6%, or exactly 5.6%, which is a lower rate than in previous counts.
Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Isabel. I hope you're enjoying this series of videos I filmed in Lisbon. I am now back in Australia, as you can probably guess. Yes, I made it back home, but not without lots of adventures along the way, including my 2 weeks in hotel quarantine in Melbourne after I got back to Australia, which I also filmed. So be sure to subscribe and come back and watch those videos as I upload them. So take care and see you next time.
Yeah, we're all hoping that this flattening of the curve thing is actually happening. Okay, so here are the cases country-wise. This is the map of Portugal, of course. In this region is Spain. Up there is also Spain. And the most cases at the moment are in the north, and that comprises the city of Porto as well, with Lisbon having 3,424 cases, 68 deaths, and the most deaths are also at the top there in the north, 208 deaths. No deaths in Alentejo here so far, and 8 deaths in Algarve, which is this province at the bottom here. And these columns, these are the ages, and the columns are men is red and pink is women. And so women actually have been confirmed with, well, there are more women with the virus, diagnosed with the virus, aren't there? Which is interesting because in most statistics I read, men actually tend to die more than women. These are the islands. This is Açores and this is Madeira. So Açores has about, well, there's a few islands, 70 cases and 52 in Madeira. That's quite a lot because it's a little island, really little. So greater than 80 years old, there's a lot more women. Fewer women if you're between 70 and 79. That's so odd. So yeah, that's the numbers. But in Australia, on the other hand, the increase seems to go by increments of 9, which is very modest compared to Portugal. So now they have a total of 943 confirmed cases. So I am aware that Queensland has a much smaller population, 5 million people in Queensland, Australia, as opposed to 10 million people in Portugal. So half, and the state of Queensland is a ginormous state in Australia. In fact, Portugal is about the size of Tasmania, which is one of the states of Australia. As you would know if you were Australian, or even if you weren't Australian, you would know that. But yeah, so Queensland is doing quite well. My family are there and they're doing well. So my daughter today was telling me all about her studies. She's feeling quite bored because online classes, it's just not the same thing. And she was asking me all about what I do here, and I was trying to tell her that I'm actually pretty busy. I was trying to explain how would I be busy in a tiny apartment when I can barely go out, and when I go out, I don't go out to see anyone. It's actually just for walks. I was telling her I do a lot of videos. I go out, I film the empty streets of Lisbon, and I come home and I don't know, I potter around and I edit my videos and I plan my videos in my little notebook. And she likes to hear about my little notebook because she regularly gives me these notebooks because she knows that I really like them. They're from Kiki K. They come in a set of 3 and I love them because Well, they're not that expensive, that they have this excellent thick paper, which is very satisfying to write on. And then they have nice covers as well. So that's my next one. I only have one more because I didn't plan to be here for months. So I only brought 2 notebooks. And I'm sort of thinking I'm almost finished this one, and I'll probably finish this one quite quickly at the rate I'm going. And then I have my pen. I always travel with my pen. It's an art line. I don't just travel with my pen. I always have this pen in my bag, and also the notebook in my handbag, because I'm a writer and I make notes all the time. Most writers would do this. In fact, Joan Didion, an American writer, she wrote a whole essay about keeping a notebook. It's a very famous essay that all writing students read at the advice of their creative writing teacher, someone like me. Anyway, this pen is just fabulous. It's a felt pen. It's a great weight on your hand. That's really important. I don't know, it's just so easy to write on. And I always tell my students that if they write longhand, and most people do write longhand as well as on a keyboard, do you always just write on a keyboard? Perhaps, but I do a mixture. I write a lot of quick notes in my notebook, and then on the keyboard, it's more for editing, and also, I do write on a keyboard, but so it's really important that you have an excellent notebook, and by excellent I mean that the paper is thick and really good to write on, and it will last you a little bit, even though after I finish the notebooks I do throw them away, because after I scan them, don't panic now, I scan them, I digitize them, but I do throw them away because you can't keep everything. If you've ever seen Marie Kondo, the decluttering queen, you'll know that you can't keep everything. So I do throw these away, but while I'm writing in them and while I'm carrying them in my handbag, they need to be sturdy, and they are. I definitely recommend writing in your notebook. In days like this, it's so important, isn't it, to just to document your thoughts and feelings, because one day those documents are going to be interesting, not just for you to read, but for other people to read. And I hope you are keeping a notebook. So I'll leave you with that for today, those words of wisdom. Write in your notebook, keep a journal. It's quite therapeutic as well, keeping a journal, and I'm not the only person who says that. And stay safe, stay well, and take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, my lunch today. Here's a picture. Bye-bye.
Do you recognize where you are yet? You should. Excuse me. I think that's all the fly. There's my building. And there's the blue crane. And there's sandbags. And there's a cement machine.